How do you find more time to write? That's the topic I'm addressing today in The Right Question. I'm Daphne Gray Grant, the publication coach. I have a question from Mildred Straminski, a writer based in Nanaimo, British Columbia. Here's what she's asked by email. For the past 3 months, I've been caring for my elderly mother in her home. She needs 24-hour assistance, but the long-term care homes where she lives are a disaster zone as a result of COVID. Another wrinkle, I'm an extreme introvert and I find it hard to deal with many medical people and her church friends and the resulting lack of privacy that depletes my energy. Often I'm interrupted and find time to write only at the end of the day when I'm simply too exhausted. What do you suggest that I do? Thanks for your question, Mildred. Oh my goodness, I really feel for you. COVID has upended so many lives, particularly for people with young children or elderly parents. Understand that this is not your fault. Please don't blame yourself or think that you're somehow inadequate. You're facing the very definition of a difficult situation. So here's what I suggest. Make your writing commitment exceptionally small. For reasons I've never understood, many people think that if they're not spending a minimum of an hour a day writing, they're not devoting nearly enough time to it. This is not true, and in fact, it's not wise either. You're far wiser to write for a small amount of time daily than a large amount infrequently, even if the ultimate word count is exactly the same. Why? You stay better connected with your project this way. As well, if writing is something small and unintimidating, you're far less likely to want to procrastinate about it. Tell yourself you need to write for an hour, and you may get scared. It sounds boring, dull, and tedious. Tell yourself that you need to write for 5 minutes, and you're far more likely to say, yeah, I can do that. It sounds easy. And I have one other tip for you, Mildred. Do your writing first thing in the day if you can. As you said in your question to me, when you write at the end of the day, you're too exhausted. This doesn't make you inadequate or disorganized. It makes you a normal person who's trying to look after her elderly mom. That's a hard job. Anybody would be tired after a day of that. So try to earmark your 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, early in the day before you become exhausted. I'm not suggesting you get up at 4 a.m. to do this, by the way. Perhaps you could time your writing with a visit from one of your mother's church friends. They could attend to her needs while you were in another room, door shut, headphones on, writing. And if those friends don't understand the importance of writing to you, make up something that will resonate with them. Perhaps you need to work on your mother's finances, or deal with family correspondence, or organize family photos. Hey, you might even get 20 minutes that way. Tell them something that will inspire them to want to leave you alone. But it's really important that you do this writing early enough in the day so you have the energy for it. Finally, let me wrap up with a quote from the American-Armenian author Emily Marushan. A tree that refuses water and sunlight for itself can't bear fruits for others. Mildred, some 15 years ago, I looked after my own mother for about 4 months after she had a heart attack that eventually killed her. It was tough for me to find time for myself in those days because my triplets were only 11 years old and I also had my own business to run. I never regretted the time I spent with my mother, but I also knew that I needed to reserve a little bit of time for myself. I did that first thing in the day before anyone else was awake. I'm sure you can find some time for yourself too, even if you need to ask others for help to be able to do that. If you'd like to learn more about how to make writing a happier and more rewarding process, check out my latest book, Your Happy First Draft. It's not available in bookstores or on Amazon. The only place you can get it is my website. Link below and in the show notes.